my podcast was Life with Britney, your podcast.
Okay.
And now I'm transitioning to Good Conversations with Britney Charmaine. This is my very first episode. It's been a minute, so I'm super excited to have you with me.
Thank you so much.
So today we have Mar'Ques Woolford. Super excited to have you. This man is an amazing trainer, a talented actor, and just good people. You know how you got good people. This is who it is. Good people.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your podcast.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so happy to be here and so honored that you allowed me to be on your first episode.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I have my trusty notebook with me, so keep me on track.
I got you.
So we're gonna be talking about fitness first.
Okay.
Okay. Kind of dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna talk about acting, which is your other world that you stay in.
Yes.
And then last but not least, we'll talk about Marvel. I put that at the end because I know how we can get with that.
Wow.
Right, exactly. So we're gonna focus on the first two, and then the last one we just gonna, see how it is.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I like
yes.
it.
Okay.
I like it.
So to start off, what got you into training, into fitness, the whole thing? What got you started?
Gosh, so of course I've always been an athlete.
Yeah.
Played sports my whole life, and I'm just an active person.
Right.
For me, I noticed that if I'm not active, I'm probably depressed, and I need to get back active, and that's what helped breaks me out of it.
Yeah.
And then I was terrified of going into business for myself.
Really?
I didn't want to. I didn't think I would be able to support myself, honestly. That's what it pretty much boiled down to.
Okay.
And when I got to Charlotte, Mike was one of the first people that I met.
Okay.
And we had just done, different projects together, some fitness modeling. I helped him out with and things like that. So when it was time for the training, he kept on telling me, "Why don't you, you have such a big fan base and a big following? Why don't you just start training?" I'm like, "No, I don't trust it. I don't trust it."
Okay.
And
what don't you trust? Like the business part of it?
yeah, just a bit.
Okay.
And it is ups and downs.
Yeah,
it's definitely
for
ups
sure.
and downs. But nonetheless, it's like I didn't know the freedom that I was going to have and how much happiness was going to be on the side of it. So when COVID came and everything shut down, I wasn't sure if I would ever act again. So and that was a real thing that we had to face. We didn't know when Hollywood was going to come back again. So I had to figure something out. And when I got certified, honestly, I hadn't looked back since.
So it started, I thought it was before COVID.
It started when COVID, yeah. And people have been asking me. Of course, you see people in the gym all the time, and folks were always asking. Like, I didn't feel comfortable until I got the books information that I needed. I knew I had the experience.
Yeah.
Which y'all work. Y'all know a lot of times that's most what you need anyway.
Right.
But I didn't feel comfortable charging people if I didn't have the knowledge and the book knowledge with
Right.
it.
All the credentials.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the blessing is I didn't have to go the long route about it, like going through a class in the school and everything like that. You can do all that stuff online. And then I was able to get a lot of my hands-on experience with Mike immediately.
Wow.
So
I don't know why y'all make it seem like y'all been in it for years.
me and Mike, we've been friends we're more like brothers, honestly. It's more like a brother kind of thing. Like no matter how much we hang out, we're always locked in with each other.
Yeah.
And when it's time, and when we fall out of sync, we know, and we lock back in, we know, you know what I mean? So
right.
I think that's kind of what it is.
That's definitely brotherhood.
It is, and I learned so much from him.
Yeah.
I tell people, especially in acting, you're so, and I'm not trying to segue into that, but you're so grateful to every time you get a chance to do what you love to do.
Facts.
And anybody that helps support you in that process, you honestly feel good about. So I tell people a lot of times when the world shut down, Mike didn't feed me; he taught me how to fish.
Yeah.
And when somebody does that for you, like you really sit back and look and like, oh man, you actually helped change my life in a big way. So it was awesome, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
I thought y'all had that space forever. Wow, that's crazy.
Me and Mike I was with Mike when he actually it started off. I was his first sponsored athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, I was his first sponsored athlete.
Where did you play? You played everything, right?
I went to college for track and football.
Okay.
But I was his first sponsor. Like when we really got started opening his first gym.
Okay.
I was the first athlete that he kept brought on to help. Let me show y'all what I can do, kind of thing. So yeah, we were doing business for a while together.
Nice.
That's why it just kind of seems like we've been doing it for
that's a good thing.
It is.
Very cool.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. So what would be a challenge aside from the business part of it with training
and
having a gym and being a business owner and all those things? Like what would be a challenge, you think?
There's a lot of them and there's different levels.
Okay.
There's different levels.
Let's do clients. Let's make it. Maybe not. Do we not need to
I
do
don't know.
that?
No, we're on the podcast, and I've always said
We're not gonna say nobody's name.
No, God, no, we ain't doing that. But it's like my biggest thing is and no matter how you want to keep it business, just complete business. My job is to motivate.
Yeah.
Is encourage. A lot of times you're a therapist.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Relationship advice. People look at you as their boyfriend. Like it gets and there's a line that you really have to toggle between what lines you allow people to cross with you versus trying to make sure you don't lose a client next month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
you have a bad month, you lose 3 people in 1 month, you look at your funds and it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a major thing.
Yeah.
And then for me, another thing is honestly wanting more than what people are willing to put out. And it has nothing to do with money. Mike and I talk about it. I'll talk about this a lot, our business model, and it's not set up for us to get rich off a client.
Yeah.
It just isn't. The longer you're with us, the more money you save. And that's just keeping it 100. And we want people to feed into themselves.
Yeah.
Because literally fitness that's the first form of medicine to me. Before Dr. Any, it's always the first form of medicine. So we're not set up to knock people overhead, but we want people to work when you get there.
Yeah.
Like, we're investing in you and invest back. Like, and that feeds you every month. Just honestly, that's not your investment back.
Yeah,
you know
that's accountability.
Yes, that's all it is.
If you're paying for it, then you might as well come and do it.
Here.
Yeah.
And then don't tell me I know what I'm doing, and don't tell me how to do my job. You know what I mean?
That's the biggest pet peeve. I have that. I think with everybody.
Yeah.
With any
but
job.
You are a different client because I only have 3 clients throughout my whole time of training who actually brought to me with their healthcare professional said.
Yeah.
And say, hey, this is what they said. How can we do this? I'm like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? You care. It's like you care. I love it because then I have something I can take home, research. And reapply. I mean, it's just like anything. I'm pretty sure you know. Your communication, you know, everything is always learning. You don't know everything from the jump. So somebody tells them they have some crazy name when they sign up for me. I'm gonna go home and research. Okay, what is it? What do you stay away from?
Yeah.
How do you make this better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm always going to be a fan of like most of the things hurt because it's you're not weak. That particular muscle is weak.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Lower back pain because you don't do nothing with your lower back. And the first thing my back hurts, so I'm gonna stay away from it.
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
And it was me, like so much stuff. My arm, my knee. I would come like every 2 weeks.
Okay, so we are going to we're gonna bite today.
I be breaking down like all the time.
But no, but
I would let you know.
I expect that because you came every day.
Yeah.
That's a different thing when you're training, and honestly, even then, because you as a trainer, you love to see people motivated, but then you have to temper your workout when you see people every day. It's like, you know what, you've been here 3 days this week. This time I'm going to give you something really light. So it's a learning process. Honestly, it really is, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it. Like I said, it really is hard. You're at the mercy of a lot of times what clients want to say.
Yeah.
No matter how things play out, you know what I mean. A lot of times they feel like they can say what they want to say to you, not respect your schedule.
That's a real one.
It's bad. They think we're Planet Fitness and we're just there, waiting for people to show up. Maybe no.
It's not the same.
It's not, and then you find yourself trying to answer to these things. And not lose a client, but it's like when are you gonna respect me enough to know that I'm not here just waiting on you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it can be daunting, but like I said, I love it.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I love it. I love the atmosphere. Yeah. Of course, you have your days when you just don't want to be in there, but those are really few and far between.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. What was I gonna ask you? What would you give like a brand new person who is trying to get into fitness, not really sure where to start, what to do, maybe a little intimidated by coming to see you guys? Like what would be their first experience?
Oh man.
What should they prep for?
honestly, just for me, I say don't start making drastic changes in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start cutting. I'm gonna cut sweets, and I'm gonna cut fat foods. I'm gonna cut out carbs, and you're about to fail.
So why though?
Because it's too much. It's too much to commit to.
Yeah.
And that's for anybody. I mean, it's like you see most Olympians don't cut everything out just like that.
Right.
It's a gradual
progression.
thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like you teach yourself that you don't need it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to cut out sugar, all sweets, and carbs at the same time. Your body's going to be like completely shocked by it.
You're going to be mad, road rage.
Yes, you're going to be flipping on everything. Like it's, you know, and then you just want to set goals that you can honestly accomplish.
Yeah, attainable.
And exactly. And it's like, that's how you trick yourself. And it's not tricking yourself like you're, fooling yourself that you're not getting anything done.
Mm-hmm.
You're just teaching your body, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Look what I've done, look what I've done. And it's slowly but surely. As far as the gym goes, like, the biggest thing, and people always think I'm trying to sell training. If you are intimidated by the gym, and then what goes on in there, the people, all the rest of it can very much can be. Get you a trainer.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Like, I didn't want to do a deadlift at first, and because it was intimidating. Because you see these people, and you're not used to doing these things. You don't know. So I was so happy to come and learn how to do forms and how to do everything. Like, oh, I can do this.
That's you need to get somebody that makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And just don't pay somebody because they feel like they talk a good game. No.
Yeah.
If they make you feel comfortable, talk to them.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you really want to get into good tests, ask for the first session free. A lot of times, they either charge you a small fee just for their time, or they will give you a free session.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my advice, honestly. Get you a trainer.
Yeah.
The intimidation factor is real, and you also want to you want to be able to set yourself up for things that you can honestly commit to.
Right.
And starting off with the trainer is not just even if you're not trying to keep them forever.
Yeah.
Just to teach you some things and get you to the point where you do feel comfortable going to the gym and doing things. So that's it. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before training, I wouldn't have said that.
Okay.
Before training, I was like, it ain't a big deal. Go in there and watch what everybody else do.
Oh my! Yeah, let's just not do that. Wind up hurt, injured, worse off than you've been.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So, did you have anything else you wanted to add about fitness, or?
Honestly, about yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Stop stopping. Quit stopping. A lot of people, I tell people a lot of times, those same people that intimidate you in the gym have been doing that for years. They are literally 15, 16 years into this process. You didn't see them in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the females, definitely don't look at them. I'm realizing most of those bodies are not real. So
that's so depressing, though.
It is.
That's what got me
what should make you feel better? Look what matches.
Yeah.
Look what matches. Real things look real.
Right. And those are the ones that put in that.
I don't care how much you squat. If it's not real, that butt ain't gonna match them legs. It's odd. It is so odd. And I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah.
It's like stop making people. It just, like you said, it's intimidating because it makes people feel like you're trying to achieve something like
that's not attainable, just naturally. Yeah, and I think also just to piggyback on that, it's like understand that your body's going to be different, and let's work and see what it's going to look like because it's not going to look like somebody else. Like you might be like me, 5'4", trying to look like somebody that's 5'9". I'm like this.
Like what? I get it. So and we look on social media, and I do it too. But when I look on social media, what makes me feel bad is not somebody else's body.
Yeah.
It's snap. He probably working harder than I am.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like he probably don't take days off, or he probably in this lazy slow.
You don't take days off either, though.
I feel like, but for me, and this goes to show, like fitness journey is different for everyone.
That's true.
It's like I have an issue with burning way too many calories.
Yeah.
So if I'm not in the gym lifting heavy, I don't care what I did in the gym with Mike and them that day.
Yeah.
I didn't work out to what I should be doing. I worked out their workout. You know what I mean? And I say it's all benefit, but that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot. In fitness, you have to work on your mind as well as you work on your body because you will always see that old person in the mirror, or what you'll see what you don't like. Even like I tell people, I compare myself to things all the time. Not bodies, because I don't care anything about that superficialness.
Yeah.
It's about the work that I put in. And so, we all have our issues. We all have them. So don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
People just don't wear them on their sleeves like that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's real.
Yes.
That's real. So do you want to give us the info for the gym?
Okay,
studio?
well, fantastic.
Y'all call it the gym a studio? Like, what are we?
Honestly,
it's
it's a gym.
Okay, yeah. So give us all the details: how to sign up, what to do, where to go.
Well, okay. Well, at Team Body Right, it's three of us. It's me, Mar'Ques Woolford, Mike Thompson, also Avery. He's our newest coach.
Oh, nice.
We also offer yoga now.
Wait a minute.
Yes, on Sundays. Sundays we have a yoga teacher. She one of Mike's previous clients. She got certified. Yes. I know we got body sculpting now. We got all three of the office operating now.
Oh, I'm so proud of y'all.
Trying to, man. Trying to, because we really want to create a self-service kind of black business. You know what I mean? Mike, Ari, and I, we all have three different training styles.
Yeah.
All three different personalities, but we all definitely work really well together.
Yeah.
We offer a Saturday morning boot camp.
Yeah.
We do our recharge. That's a once a month thing. We're being a bunch of black vendors. Food. We have a big boot camp with me that the four of us do. We did one, but we'll probably get back with that probably in January because of the cold months and everything like that. But but I offer one-on-one training. You can contact me.
He's the best. Choose him.
You can contact me at m.q.d on Instagram or Mar'Ques Woolford. I'm pretty sure when they edit this, you can put my email or something like that.
We'll get all the details.
But definitely follow me on Instagram. I try to post a lot of daily tips and things like that, inspirational things that keep me going. I also post some of my work, so don't let that throw you off.
It's all in there.
I'm a model, so you know.
With 0% body fat. Which is why you're talking about you miss a day. Okay. Okay.
But we are located at 2818 Queen City Drive, Sweet Pea. Like I said, we have Mike Thompson, Team Body Right, and Coach Avery. Coach Foster on Instagram too. If you guys ever want to take a look at that, like I said, we try to work between the three or four of us. We're definitely gonna be able to get you right. But definitely holler at me if you want to inquire about any rates. So thank you so much, my friend.
Yes. Okay, so that's all things fitness.
Yes.
So we're gonna move over to your other love, which is acting. Yes. I have a couple of things. I don't know how these questions are gonna go because I feel like you're gonna give us some good insight. Yes. But what is one thing that you would say has changed in the industry? How long have you been acting? Let's start with that first, probably.
Honestly, a professionally actor, I've been at it for about 10 years. 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's changed? What's the progression? Not just in the industry, but you too. Can you talk about both of those things?
You take ownership of this. It's different for. I'm not sure where a lot of our fans or our followers are going to be from, but I didn't go to a school in a huge city where the arts and all those different options were even a thing.
Yeah.
I grew up in a military town. We were going to go to military, go to college on the basic college where you go play sports.
Okay.
I never knew acting was something I could actually pursue.
Wow. Is that because of the town or just?
It just wasn't. Just something, it was so unattainable.
Okay.
That's something. You live in New York or LA or something like that. I had no idea Wilmington was so big at the time. Yeah. I just didn't know. And nobody, my parents kind of knew, but they had no idea what that time in front of TV was for me. You know what I mean? My earliest memories are being terrified to the living hell from It. The movie It.
I still have never seen it. I'm terrified of clowns, so it will never happen. So.
It's weird that
I
had such a weird fascination with everything television and film. I just remember sitting back Friday nights. Blockbuster night would be 5 movies. Me and my mom would get 5 movies.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there with them, popcorn, and they just come my eyes over sex part, but they never ever censored what I watched.
Okay.
Never censored what I watched. I just had those parents you know what the hell you better not say. You know what I'm saying? That was my parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Don't come out here. You already right. Yeah.
You know what you better not come out your mouth.
Right.
So it's that was the thing, but they never censored what I watched, and it just really formed such a. I didn't just watch movies. I really pick them apart. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm really taking in the storytelling, the you know, how it was done, just different aspects of it. And I didn't think it was becoming what it was, but it was definitely becoming, I think, where I should have been in life.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was your first acting role?
Oh, the ones that I feel like really changed me was when I did theater. It was music theater. My first one was Rent. Now the funny thing
Whoa, I didn't know you did Rent.
No, yeah, I did Rent. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. My first one was Dreamgirls.
What? I didn't know you did that.
My first one was Dreamgirls. Yes, it was. It's funny because
what did you play?
In Dreamgirls, I played an announcer. And he's part of the ensemble.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about that is I'm very competitive.
Okay.
I don't care. It could have been ballet.
Mm-hmm.
If it was the lead and I wanted it, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew I wasn't the best singer, but I knew I wasn't a horrible singer.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried out for it. Didn't get the part I shouldn't have.
Okay.
Didn't.
All right.
Brian's voice, I could never.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could never.
You know your strength is
yes, and that was it. That
self-awareness is
there
real.
You go. That's the first lesson in acting.
Oh, for sure, especially that. Yeah.
So, but it made sense because I think when I got there and saw what it meant, what my part was, and how I can take what an announcer was and really turn into a character. And as the Dreamgirls were able to evolve as a group in this story, so was I, because I was I felt like I was getting bigger and bigger in my career throughout their career. So I just started. That's when I started knowing how to really take something and make something of it. So that actually got that really got the eyes of the theater house that we were doing it at. And the next show came around. It was Rent. And I didn't hear about the audition at first.
Okay.
I actually heard about it on the very last day. They said, "Look, it's the last day," and they're still looking for people for leads.
That's crazy.
And they said, "I need you to go on an audition." I said, "Okay." I knew I did wrong the last time.
Okay.
I know I'm going to do right this time. So went and auditioned for him, and I got the role of Tom Collins.
Nice.
That's what changed everything for me, because I hadn't had to commit anything like that since sports.
Yeah, Rent.
And it was heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was
That's
so
a big
heavy.
one.
It was so heavy, and it was each night you built such a. The cast is diverse as it is.
Right.
Because it's just written in a script, but then I think it's as a person, as coming from a military town, dealing with my own personal issues with sexuality and all these things.
Yeah.
What that show made me face.
Everything.
It's just everything.
Yeah.
And it was so big, it was so impactful. And then when we actually, to being on stage and have the insecurities of the singing portion. I know I had worked my butt off. You know what I'm saying? Really worked my butt off. And I know everything sounded good, but there's nothing that can really substitute for that real emotion. When you're singing that major song and you're looking out in the audience and y'all lock eyes, and there's a moment where it's really even when film, as much as I love acting, even there's nothing that compares to know that you've touched somebody right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember one night, I think the night that I knew that this is probably the hardest stuff I would ever do in my life, but I loved it. We right when there's so much going on backstage when you look at it, we had to play.
Right.
It's literally like hell right behind that wall. And like the green room's back there where, most of your leads are. And then I just got finished singing the reprise, and all the leads were back there. We're trying to get our stuff on because we have to go right back on set. And I'm like, and I'm walking in, I don't know what was going on with me, and I just stopped in the middle of the green room and just broke down crying on the floor. This was like our fourth night doing this show. Yeah. And it's like, and having to be emotionally invested so much. I just broke down. So all of us, all 5 leads are on each other, bawling. And we have the stage hand like, guys, I'm sorry, but you have to be on stage. And she's crying because we can't. I have never felt anything like that. It's like,
that's real.
Vocally, it was rough, but it gave it everything it needed to give. Being on stage, coming right back out after a funeral, so it's like it was magic. It's magic.
That's wild.
It is. It was wild.
Yeah. I'm picturing the whole that whole scene happening.
That's what started it. Though. That's where I felt like there's nothing else I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
Not to have to be doing it. But as an actor, though, when you don't grow up in those atmospheres, just claiming it is something big. To tell people, what do? I'm an actor.
Yeah.
That's hard because a lot of times people are like, you know what I mean?
Because we don't see people around the way, just right.
And a lot of times, like, we're so used to shooting down what people want to do and be before we even give it an opportunity, and we don't know how each and every single time that might drive them further and further away from being their destiny. So, so it's like claiming. It took me a while to even say I'm an actor. You know what I mean?
So crazy. No,
Took a while.
Yeah.
And it's big. You know what I mean? It's like, you're right. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say, like, that's when, for me to say, like, even now sometimes it's a little sketchy for me to say, yeah, I'm a writer. And I still kind of like, no, Brit, own it.
You have to own it.
You are.
You have to
I don't know
own
why
it.
we do. I don't know, just because, like, we, one, can't believe we made it, right? And number two, just, like, maybe just that little bit of insecurity is still just, you're kind of, you know, battling.
Exactly.
So I definitely can relate to that.
You see a lot of our friends, and we talk about, they're so arrogant. And I'm like, do you know what it takes to withstand all this?
Yeah.
All these daggers you are throwing at them?
It's wild.
Like, you have to big yourself up in such a major way.
Yeah.
Like, you have to big yourself up. And a lot of times it's not about you're a bad person, but there's a wall you have to throw up. Because if you look on social, you look online, and you know you did an amazing job at something. You have just some horrible comments. Yeah. Horrible how nothing about nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it's hard, and so it's like you have to big yourself up, and especially you gotta claim it, especially by walking some of these rooms that you're in. It's like
100%.
It's intimidating.
Yes.
It's intimidating.
Yes. And I always say it's like, not that we don't have a good support system, I think we both do, but sometimes I feel like even with the support system, they don't necessarily like, I don't know if they don't believe it or they're just like, oh, they're doing it because they love you versus, because I have some people that support me, they'll buy my book, will never read it. I'm like, thank you for buying it, but I really need you to read it so I can, get some feedback or whatever. Yeah. Or people might, go see, a movie that you have or do whatever. Like, oh, I loved you in it. What did you love? You. And I'm like, well, thanks, but...
Thanks.
Thanks
for the view. You know what I'm saying? Like, thanks for the view.
Right, and so it's like sometimes you get more support as in like the technical stuff from people that you don't know. So trying to balance that out too, I can imagine is a lot as an
That's
actor.
been a lot of what these past couple months have been about. This is a industry of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And they tell you if you're really going to be in this and you're really going to you're going to do anything, period, it's a time period to figure this out. Because there's no roadmap, Brittany. You can get signed up and signed for 9 years. Yeah. And love you, Mark and Charlotte, but there is no roadmap. Ain't nobody because I want to make sure people, it's always a thing of wanting to make sure that you want to be that you're grateful and for who they are. You know what I mean? But it's like there's still no roadmap in a lot of ways. Yeah. And so it took me a minute, at least I think 7 years to learn how to really audition. Yeah. And it's not just repeat these lines on the page, and it's like you have 2 lines to sell me,
and that's it.
How you gonna do it?
That's it.
And then this is it, Brittany. You got to take every single one of those auditions serious because you don't know what the audition really is. People ask me all the time, "What's your audition for?" I'm pretty sure you asked me. I'm like, "I don't know." Yeah. Because when you see a nonsense like you see blue boobies. Something stupid. It's like, you need to start thinking to yourself, what could that be code for? That's how they give you, that's how they keep the things a secret. Yeah. My last project, I didn't know who in the hell was attached to it until after I booked it.
Right. Because you told me that before. It was like, you auditioned for something, I can't remember what it was. You auditioned for something, you didn't get that, but then somebody like saw it and called you back for it. Right. So you don't know who's going to see it.
No. You have to approach it with gratitude, with like every single thing is going to be the next big thing. Yeah. You have to.
You don't know who knows who and...
You don't. Mm-hmm. And even then, like, if you think about it, that's what I said, that's part of auditioning. You got to give this a little bit extra. Like, you got to give this thing some life. If you're going into it already doubting the process, like you're not going to give this character what it needs. And everybody doesn't have that special face that's just going to get booked for everything. You know what I'm saying? There are some people out there that do. Yeah. Who just have that youthful look, and that great this or that great that. The more distinct you look, the better you better be. The better you better be. Like I said, I tell well, I bet you get booked all times. You look, and I say, That means the better you look, the more narrow.
Right, I can imagine that.
It's the more narrow because number one, they're looking at your real talent. Are you just going to be better than the face? And then normal people play normal people.
Yeah.
The average person isn't a supermodel or in a gym 24/7. You know what I'm saying? You have to convince them to make this character. More right. You have to convince them. So it's like there's a lot of aspects to it, but you don't do it for money. You do it because this is what you love to do.
Right.
And there's nothing else that makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for anything else, first, it's not going to work because you're going to quit.
Yeah, those ups and downs are real.
Quit.
Yeah, all too real.
You're going to quit.
How do you feel like, so the progression of, and this is, I would love it. We talked about this, I think, one time working, which is one thing I love working out with you. Because we would talk so much, and it would make me feel like I wasn't dying in there. But so how do you feel the progression of the black actor is going? Do you feel, of course we're going to talk about Black Panther in a second, but is his name Jonathan? Is it Mayer? Jonathan Mayer? Is that his name? What is his name?
Kane.
Yes, who plays
Jonathan
Majors.
Yeah.
Majors, yes. He's in Marvel. He's in Creed. And he's in the airplane. It's like Devotion or something. I'm like, well, okay, sir. But that's to like finally see, right? And I know, like, of course, there's been people before him, but I haven't seen it like this in a very long time. Like all three of your trailers are in one movie. Like,
it's impressive.
Right? Do you feel like it's getting better for us?
Very much like it's now more than ever, and not just for us. It's like for every. For every minority or demographic that we haven't had the opportunity, and it's not just as an actor, it's as a storyteller. Period. If you write, there's never been a better time to get it out there and to shop these things around and to get with other creatives. Like, you know what, I can see this as a script because all the streaming services that's out there. My movie, Pastor Thorne, is like I would never have guessed that the people, that random folks, will be stopping me in a Walmart.
That's crazy.
Food line, and it's always somewhere. It's like, and I'm like, you watch that?
Yeah.
Like,
why you gotta say it like that?
Because we're still us. We're still in the grind. You know what I mean? It's like, and as good as we made, as other people may see, it's like we're still
in it.
Everyday person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my God, and so it's like. And it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Like, I'm honored. Like,
for sure.
It take an hour and a half out your day to commit to watching something. And even though, thank you, Carlton, a lot of times it's hard to watch independent stuff because the camera quality is different.
Yeah.
So people, instead, they want to see that great camera quality instead of looking at, these are some amazing actors on screen that are literally one day away from
That means the story's good.
And I do love that. And as an actor, for me, it's been a thing of coming from fitness modeling and everything like that. It's to not see it and have people see that.
That's what you mean.
Attractive, to be attracted to characters. Because a lot of times, when you have a lot of your fans, that's all they want to see. And, but I want people to either hate or love my character. I'm not gonna lie. And a lot of times I try to double down. Like, how'd you feel about it? Like, I hated him. I did that.
Great.
I love that because that means I made you feel something.
Yeah, but that's the kind of stuff you need to hear and want to hear, like that insight. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, especially as a creative, we need it.
That's what we need.
We need the feedback.
I love
the
real
support.
feedback. Yeah, I love real feedback. Somebody who I respect, who I know has a mind for it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times you have a lot of yes people.
Oh, for sure.
You got a lot of yes people.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people who don't know how to see past their own creative mind. One thing I love is learning from people. I don't like being the subject expert in the room. Why am I here? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I get it, but I don't want, if that means nobody's going to tell me my idea could be better. Yeah. Nobody's going to challenge you. You know what I mean? So that's why I love when people can tell me, like, this part right here, I could have did it, you should have edited that, especially with acting, because I don't get offended by it. I shot that 2 years ago. Yeah. And I said, number one, I'm better. Number two, I just need the feedback. Yeah. Like, what didn't you feel? You know what I mean? Right. And then, of course, I like talking to people about different aspects who care. You know,
Yeah.
well, why'd you make these decisions rather than do X, Y, Z? I love that because then you kind of get the aspect of that they're actually trying to be a storyteller, not just writing on word on a page.
Right.
Because most scripts are just that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just that.
Mm-hmm.
Even and you might fall into this sometimes. And I'm not sure. I know you've written novels. But I'm not sure if you've ever transferred to a script. They tell you not supposed to tell the actor how to feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard.
It's like, I think it has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Because it depends though, because like coming from a novel, like I already know how these characters feel.
Yes.
So I do want you to, you know, bring these to life versus if it's just, this is just a script and it just came from, you know, the writer's mind. I'm like, okay. I think it's a balance because even so, like if my book ever became like a screenplay or something, I would talk to the actors, kind of give them the vibe, but I want them to, how do they feel? How do they interpret? How
Let's
do
talk
they?
about, but see, that's the thing. That's why I'm a hands-on type guy.
Yeah.
Like, and I love Carlton for what he's allowing me to do is like he's allowing me to, because I am the lead.
Yeah.
And he knows I am very much, make sure we're all telling the right story. And in independent filmmaker, you run into a problem with scheduling and resources, being able to have, like, say if we have to rent an Airbnb, that's a certain character's house.
Yeah.
Chances are we ain't gonna be get that 2 weekends in a row. You know what I'm saying? So everything has to get done. So it's such a time crunch that you can't focus on a lot of the other details. And a lot of getting together with all about rehearsals because shoot, the guys playing my son lives in Atlanta, the other playing my father lives in Augusta, so trying to link up and meet is just really hard.
Right.
So he's allowing me to meet with the other characters so we can do a little bit of coaching. No, I don't mean coaching
like
as
table reads or like
table reads.
Okay.
And me and Carlton talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I love filmmakers who communicate with their lead, so I can give you what you want. You know what I mean? So you can give and we can tell the same story, and I know the different challenges that we've come across in the past, and I hate getting on set and having their hair to run through lines. I'm the type, let's run this thing till it gets on our nerves so we can respond innately as characters, especially
it's
if
natural.
we gotta be angry with each other and a father in some kind of contention. I'm going to make you uncomfortable on screen.
Yeah.
If that's what kind of relationship, and I need you to be as comfortable with me as a person.
Right, to make
so you know I'm about to come at you.
Right, and not be offended.
And not be offended.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm also a real big person. I don't need my stuff to look rehearsed. Or I don't need the camera to pick up on he's about to die because we done did it 5 times already. So each time, I'm probably going to do a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come at you the same way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That makes it authentic though.
Yes. But see, that's the thing a lot of times with, these are walls that you come across when you're working in independent film because you just let yourself go. And that's why I'm saying there's no roadmap.
Yeah.
You know, there's no roadmap for acting. I just want to let people know, yo, get these shackles off of you and just be. You know what I mean? Just give me the emotion. You know what I mean? And I think once people let go of that, number one, know your script. Number one rule, don't show up to set and not know your words. Right. Because there's no character if you learn to know words. Like there's nothing you can do, but if you know that so well, you can easily pull emotions from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to coach and guide.
All the things.
That's all a part of claiming it, though.
Yeah.
It's all a part of claiming it and knowing what your strengths are. It's not being arrogant. It's not being conceited or think you know everything. But if ain't nobody in the room going to say nothing, I am.
Right.
If ain't nobody going to steer this ship, I guess I will.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It's like, 'cause I care.
Right.
Not because you think you're better than anybody else. Not because you feel like you have the answers. Just because you care.
Yeah.
And from my background of sports and what it takes to get to certain things, I mean, I don't know about the average person, but 9 to 5s don't really teach you that. Don't teach you what it takes to get above and beyond.
That's independent.
Yes. Like even in the gym, like, I'm gonna let you go grab them 10. I ain't gonna cuss you out. You are grown.
You gonna give a face.
I want you back. I'm gonna look at something. Yeah, sure. I'm not going to offend you,
right?
But it's like the average person. A lot of folks aren't going to push themselves past that, and you have to literally push yourself past that, especially in something as hard as acting and television, film. You got to.
Yeah.
There's no choice.
So how do you So when you have a role, what is your prep Like, what do you do?
Learn my lines.
Okay, how do you do that? They're like, I commend you for being an actor. There's no way.
It's okay. So I always compare it to, you know, you have like an argument with your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. And I always say, you can't tell me word for word what was said,
okay,
but you can give me a gist.
Yeah.
Of almost the order of how it started,
right?
And what took you from here to here.
Yes.
You know exactly how it was said.
Yeah.
So that's how I take in a script. Like,
okay.
Especially if I have the whole thing, I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
Everybody's lines.
Everybody's line, because I'm everything to me. A good script is going to play into all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I look at it just as the big ball of conversation. So of course, if I know who I am, and I know how I play into that, it allows me to latch onto it much more easier. Like it's really straight. I like a song. A song that you really like the first time you hear it, you're probably gonna know it by that fourth time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or know most of it, know the melody, things like that. So, and then of course, with like anything else, you just get better at picking up on lines. Yeah. You learn to stop reading as just sight reading, as like you're just reading a novel you've never read, and you learn, especially if you know who your character is, you try to start putting life to it through the first time through, which once again helps. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm weird. You'll see a lot of times people will see me and like walking around the gym is like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I have an audition in about 2 hours. I'm learning lines, and that's what it takes because most of my friends are bankers. Yeah, y'all know that. And even if I ask you to read across from you ain't gonna mess me up. Right. Because you read like, just Jose. It's like, I'll be like, look, there's
no life, there's nothing. I'm reading what the lines are.
That's all it was,
I'm doing. Right. I'm doing the task that would ask me.
So you feel stupid because you are extra and they sit there like doing what you like.
100%, because I'm not giving nothing else. Because we're gonna feel crazy. I'm like, yeah.
It's so funny, so it doesn't help. So you find yourself doing lines and in your head and then responding back like that. It's
right. I mean, whatever gets it done, whatever like makes it stay in there.
But honestly, though, that is where that's why actors they seem so free because that's how you've had to do it. Like you had to let go. The things that make you feel silly. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I don't really care about a whole bunch anymore. And made modeling so much easier. That's why you see a lot of actors in the off time, they just disheveled. They play characters for a living. Yeah. And it's a lot of effort that goes into them those days, and it's a lot. And don't nobody care about the frivolous stuff. And you can see it. But you know, I try to people understand their acting, which makes them the brilliant actor that they can take themselves out of it and give you a whole new character. So when you see them looking crazy on the street or maybe not as put together, that's them. They don't got they don't got to be all these people. They're trying to detach from all those people. I'm trying to free my mind of all the demons that's going through.
Because that's real. Because you have to become those really people.
Do. Yeah. And there are acting techniques to help, but to be perfectly honest with you, after take 10 of you and bawling tears, like you're not gonna have a great day. Yeah. Your day is just understand whatever you're doing after today is going to consist of you being at home doing whatever you need to do to recoup, and that's what a lot of people don't do. A lot of actors don't take that time and really self-heal. Yeah. Because the stuff that you have to break, the memories, depending on what acting technique that you're using, and what you have to use to bring these emotions up.
That's wild, yeah.
You can be in a really messed up place.
Yeah.
And then of course you get out, and if you decide that you're going to go over and be around people and taking that kind of energy, they don't know you just got finished having an emotional day. They're just going to add more nonsense on top of you. And it's not their fault. They don't know. You should have took your butt home. Right. You should have took your butt home. Yeah. So those are different things. I realized that mentally acting takes such a lot. And like I said, it's a lot of mental effort. Same thing over and over and over and over and over, different angle. And so when you're done, do whatever you have to do to really decompress. Yeah. Yeah. And do that while you have the time Well, you don't have paparazzi and interviews and stuff to do all day and things like that. So you gotta take the time to take care of yourself.
Yeah, get that down packed for sure.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So okay, before we move on to Marvel, what projects do you want us to check out, and where can we check those projects out? I mean, we got to make sure people can see the things.
Well, I've just set up a big project with called Mother Couch coming out next year. That's the biggest one. Got a couple of big names I won't mention right now.
I'm very excited.
If you've been on my Instagram, you kind of see it's like I'm very quiet. It's like it's so funny when we're about to talk about Marvel. I'm gonna tell you a story about this too.
Okay.
But that was an amazing situation. To be sitting in a tent with people that you grew up watching, and it's like y'all just sitting around literally talking about life stuff.
Right. Try to compose myself. I would be like, okay, don't freak out, don't freak out.
Let me tell you what
I would freak out in the car.
Let me tell you what I did. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. So we're sitting there.
Oh my gosh.
Sitting across from the aisle. And sitting next to another woman. I didn't know she was who she was until I sat there, Googled it, and I was like, so we're in a tent, getting ready, and like I said, acting is long.
Yes.
Days are long.
Yeah.
And when you're one of the talent, if you're not extra and you're one of the main talent, you don't know what's going on set. You're in your tent.
Yeah.
So I'm there, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get as much pictures and footage of
everything
that I can. But I don't, it's too early. It's day one. It was not day one, but it's it's early in the day, and I don't want to be
that guy.
So I'm sitting there, and you guys, if you can't see me, I've got my phone up, and I'm trying to I'm on it, but I also have my camera up. So my goofy self has been so geeked all day. I've been taking video of everything in my trailer. The lights weren't light enough, so I turned my flash on my Instagram to take a picture. I say, that didn't work, so I said close it out. You know how you do. You're trying trying different things. So we get to set, sitting in the tent. I try to pull my camera out so I can videotape, and the flipping light is on. So she says,
"Oh my God,
you got your flashlight on."
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Thank you.
Dropped. I'm like, does she know I was trying to get a video?
Oh my gosh, they're probably just.
I'm hoping it went
sure
right over her head.
I'm pretty sure.
And they were amazing. That's the crazy thing that week. After talking to the director, just even talking to them and the response, everything. There's a lot of times we talk about not being able to get in the room. Well, I had to turn out the window. And Sometimes, Brittany, we are in the room. Mm-hmm. You're scared to pull your damn chair up to the table.
Mm-hmm. That imposter syndrome is real.
That's what it felt like. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here?
Mm-hmm. I was always told, not to interrupt you, I was always told, and this is just what gives me the little piece of confidence that I can okay, I can do this. If you are in those rooms, you're supposed to be in those rooms. Mm-hmm. Use it.
You are.
You know what I'm saying? And I know it's the nerves and everything, and just
it's everything.
Yeah.
It was crazy because even after all the wardrobe, we went through 25 wardrobe changes.
Oh my.
For one scene, Brittany. For one scene, and I get where they come from. I understood it all, but it's a self-awareness thing. Walking on set, and what really felt good is and because my character, this guy is worried about me because he thinks that I could be having an affair with his wife. Mm. So when I walk up on set, when we all get to set, a couple of the main character people are still already there, so we're looking to do our audition, our rehearsal. And I walk through, he's like, "Oh, this must be Tom." Ooh. And I'm like,
too stunned to speak.
Is he referring to me? And I'm like, so just to even be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Just by presence alone, mm-hmm. It's it lets me know, a lot of times, God talks to me. When God is talking to y'all, listen.
Right.
God's always told me he got something for me. Mm-hmm. Everywhere that he's always blessed me, it's always been tenfold in a way that I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so, number one, division with what I do with acting. Mm-hmm. I'm so good. I try to do right by people. I'm not always gonna be perfect. Some of y'all might get cussed out. Don't get it twisted. I'm not always perfect. God's still working on me.
Yeah.
But but it's like, I try to be vigilant because I know what could come from this, and just to get the confirmation from different actors, and that's awesome. You need to pull your seat up, pull your seat up, and have your insecurities, whatever you need, because of course you need some of that to get by. But pull your seat up and do you, and do you seriously, because if you don't, you're really gonna regret it.
Yeah,
you're gonna regret it.
That's real. So tell you went through amazing wisdom.
I did, my bad.
But I still need you to tell us where to go.
I got something coming next month, next year, Mother Couch. You guys will see that on streaming service and things like that. Also attached with some big names.
Yes.
My personal stuff I've come out. I have a couple of projects on Tubi. You might have already seen it. I have Pastor Thorne up there. I have Redemption for Easter. Pastor Thorne 2 is we're actually started filming that last weekend. That'll be out next fall, more than likely.
Okay.
Also working on I have a series called My Life on Tubi that has gone ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
People love that. Like that's another one. People are stopping me. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
It's we have season 2 as well.
Okay.
But it's not on Tubi yet, but we'll find a way to get it up on there. Also, a spin-off on my character is coming on from that show that I wrote, that I didn't write, that me and I helped co-write.
Yeah. Is that the one you were working on? When I was,
I had Sean audition for it. He's excited. And what I love about that is being able to do, this is one opportunity, like I say, where you have people with a dream.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
That's a lot. That's better than a lot you can ask for in a lot of time. That dream, because people who operate off a dream know they have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and everything in the world to gain. So they commit to it. So we have that coming. We're putting a lot of thought into this storyline, because when it comes to LGBT stories coming up here, it's important for me that people see representation. I ain't just talking that. Sorry, feminine guys and whatnot. This is not being hateful, but we have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And
you said that before.
Yeah, even to the point where people will say, well, I don't even think watching masculine guys to be interested, to be toxic.
Yeah.
What kind of people do y'all know in your life? Like, everybody ain't toxic. I always get all hung up on expel these dumb things. And there are a bunch of different stories that need to be told. Why can't we tell them? You know what I'm saying? So we really are putting a lot of thought into that script. Are you playing a serial killer next year?
Okay. Yeah. I probably won't watch that one.
Are you playing a serial killer?
Because I'm just scared like that. It's probably a no. But
it's going to be fun. This is going to be so different.
That is going to be different for you. Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of research for that, and the ways of making my stuff as creepy as possible, and it's there's a lot of good stuff. I said the independent film, as hard as it is to come across, and so many of the issues that you come across with certain professionals and working with certain people, is so much. That's where you get your feet. That's where you learn if you good or not. Yeah. Or if you can act without all the bells and whistles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Without the CGI. The real stuff, the trenches. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Like, can you make me feel something with your iPhone? Like,
I mean, no, yeah.
Can you make me feel something with your iPhone? I know you got the light shining on your face, and I see imperfections. Can I fit? Don't fit. That's what I want, and that's why I don't mind doing it. And because that's literally where you flex. Yeah. That's literally where you flex and get that real practice. Because when you get on set with everybody else, with the big people, and you see how they operate. It's like, y'all look like damn machines. You can tell y'all been doing this your whole life.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's even little kids. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I can tell. You just like light up when you talk about it.
I love it. It's so much fun. Yeah. It's like, it's hard. Yeah. Very hard, but it's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, very rewarding.
It is.
Yes.
Very much so.
Good stuff. All the good things.
All of it.
All right, here we gonna do. I'm gonna read the questions so that we can stay. Me and Mar'Ques will talk about Marvel for as long as we can talk about it. So I'm gonna try to keep us together. Okay, I'm gonna read what we're gonna discuss, and then we can kind of see. Okay, so all things Marvel. What do we think about the Marvel universe now? Okay, shows versus movies. We're gonna try to condense it. Black Panther, which I'm probably gonna spend a second on that one. Yeah. And then the future of Marvel storylines.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to just.
We'll try to fit it in.
Try. Okay, so the Marvel Universe now. No, I will say, for me, this personal preference, I think the shows have been hitting a little bit harder than the films.
Yes.
I was so I'm gonna go from Eternals up until now. So Eternals, we feel very different about that. Right. You were a fan, not so much for me.
Right.
No Way Home was. I talked to one of my friends about this, and I was like, "Did you like it, or was it just the nostalgia for you?" And I had to sit on that for a second because I was
I'll sit on it for a second.
right? Because I'm like, the nostalgia part. If you haven't seen it, well, I don't know what you've been doing, but anyway, we're definitely about to spoil all of it.
All of it.
Right. Having all the Spider-Man come back, that was like real for me. But I was like, you know what? And then having the villains. Aside from that, it was okay.
Yeah.
You know, now that I think about it, it was okay. And then I'm gonna say mine and let you say it. Multiverse, I was just disappointed. I wanted it to hit a lot harder. I was super hyped. We were super hyped for that. And it just didn't do it for me. Yeah. And then to have Thor, I was like, all right, okay, I could have saw it at the house. It was. I will say, it was one of the better Thor movies for me because Thor really hasn't really done much for me as far as a movie. Like Ragnarok was cool, but that was the only one. Like the first two was kind of trash.
I agree.
And so Love and Thunder, it was okay. And so when I saw Black Panther come, and I was like, oh, this is about that first trailer. I was like, oh, we in there. Yeah, I'm gonna say Black Panther for a second. Okay, but anyway, so the shows though have been amazing. Yeah, all of them, so like very engaging. I didn't know how She-Hulk was gonna do for me. I was very just like, I didn't know, but it kept me engaged every time. When Daredevil came, I was like, oh, so we just It was. I don't know. I liked it. It worked for me.
My thing with the MCU, and now that all of Phase 4 is over.
Wow, right?
Now that Phase 4 is over, and when Sean looks at this, he's going to laugh, because I start stuff for the sake of starting stuff. What I will say is this. I feel like there's a big misconception on what Phase 1, on how good Phase 1 was.
What was in Phase 1?
Yeah, Iron Man, Captain America, the first Avenger, which I think was trash. But the first Thor, there's a lot of groundwork that we are so far from that we kind of, I think, forget how disjointed and it all wasn't great in Phase 1. So that's what I compare
true. I didn't think about that.
Phase 4 to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, a lot of groundwork to lay, and they're darn sure going to make mistakes throughout the process. I think what I've been able to appreciate about the MCU is, for me, this is just for me, after Endgame, I had to understand to myself that they just opened up the whole comic book, the whole Marvel world. You were never into half the stuff that they're making. You know what I'm saying? They're making movies now. Yeah. The only reason you're so into it because you were into Marvel for the first 10 years. Y'all have just literally opened up the whole comic book on us. There's no way I'm gonna like everything.
True.
The same.
Right.
Or have the same level of interest.
Right.
So certain things I started watching and saying, okay, I watch Marvel. I love the weekly shows that I can go see every week. So it's just entertainment. Like I didn't look. Once I realized She-Hulk wasn't going to give me anything.
Right. I just enjoyed it.
I'm like, you know what?
TV show.
It's not. We're not feeding into Infinity War anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's not going to give you all this missing. Yeah.
Let's stop thinking that. When I feel like when
we were so invested, though. I think that's what got it.
It took me a minute to really wipe my slate clean of all that and just let them lay the groundwork, and then in Phase 5 look back and oh snap, they connected it to this XYZ now. Right. I think that's when things can make more sense. But right now, it was spotty for me. And some of that I blame Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on Marvel because they started rumors on everything that's supposed to come and everything that's supposed to be in there. And although it had some great moments,
It was missing.
There were some decisions
pieces,
made
man.
that I was like, okay.
It was just missing.
It was missing a lot. It was missing a lot. The Eternals, it was once again an opportunity. I love the diversity of it, but my thing was, and I got excited about who I thought they were going to lead to with like Galactus and Silver Surfer and things like that. That's why I said you need an Eternals 2 before you get to these next couple huge movies that are coming. Like,
what universe are we in? Because where's the man from the ocean? Like, so we just ignoring that he exists? Like,
so it's a whole half of Celestial sticking out the ground and no news.
That's like, so that's our universe? I don't know.
Y'all gonna address this half
we have
this
to.
thing.
Somebody
at
has
some
to,
point somebody gonna say something.
Yes.
But it's I'm just trying to make sure I give them their grace right now. You know what I mean? We're
gonna be fans for that's just what it is. We're gonna be fans.
I'm not gonna love everything.
Right.
But you're right. The shows were really engaging. And like I said this, and another reason I'm always gonna ride for Marvel is because I love the fact that they're culturally are showing different. Those have been the best moments to me.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think those have been the most significant moments, the most relevant moments that stuck out to me in the MCU thus far. Like watching Miss Marvel and seeing that
was good. I forgot about Miss Marvel. That was so good.
It's like, and like people are like, well, that was so stupid. I was like, you're freaking 40. Why would that be? Like, you're a 40-year-old man. Do you really think you're going to be as interested in a high school girl?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why are you looking at it as to be inspired by a little girl?
Right, exactly. Right.
It's a comic book.
Right. But I love her diversity. I love how they kind of weave that in there.
Right.
Yeah,
like at some point you got to start looking at this with a different eye.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And that's what makes it,
You know what I mean? I don't expect
real.
you to be into like you were Winter Soldier.
Right. It's gonna hit different. Yeah, it's still gonna hit though.
It's gonna hit, and I thought that was like one of the best moments.
It was
good.
What
I mean? I love the cultural moments that they've displayed. Very much think it's weird some of the choices they made, like the Echo series.
Yeah.
You read the Echo?
No.
Actually, and this is not trying to be funny.
No,
never mind. I'm not gonna say that, but
maybe just like a little something would have been alright. I don't need a series.
A special.
Special.
Like Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, that's it.
I could have used more of that.
That's all I need. I don't need a whole,
I'll be fine.
everything don't have to have. Right. Right.
And like Daredevil, why are y'all giving us 18 episodes?
I don't need that at all.
What do y'all want to talk about?
We could have made a movie for him at that point. We could have made a little movie. A little mini series would have been just fine. Yeah. I'm good.
Y'all spend a lot of money on this.
Right. Some stuff I'm just like,
y'all spend a lot of money on this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really. But
I think what you said was good. Having a new eye, because I think after Endgame, a lot of us were just like, it was really hard to break away from our Avengers, like our originals, the people we've grown.
It was such an emotional movie.
It was. We've been invested for years. It was just like, we're done.
I watched Endgame. I watched Endgame the other day, and just it got chills at certain parts of the last act. I'm like, my God,
and it still does it, right?
Like how y'all? This was incredible. Like and even thinking about to the feeling you had in the theater seeing.
Oh my gosh. I cried. This is the first time I ever cried in the theater.
Oh,
the first time I've ever cried. And I'll admit, I did. I wasn't bawling, but I was like, oh yeah, it got me.
Like it's like even like when it was so many parts. I was sitting back watching. I was like, that to me.
The first scene was ridiculous.
Like when they came through the portals and
please.
That 5 minutes is the greatest 5 minutes of cinema history, and I will ever remember. And because everybody, I thought he had everybody on the string of the theater like this.
Yes! As soon as he said on your left, I was like, wait a minute, everybody's coming in here. It was so much.
It was so much. And the way they built up that intensity.
Oh, it was so good.
Is he about to die? Is he about to die? I'm
my God.
And then for the first people to come through the portal.
I know. We're going to go ahead and segue right on into it. Okay. First of all, when did you see it?
Opening night.
I saw it Thursday night. Did you see it Thursday
night?
Yeah.
I was in there Thursday night.
Did you dress? I did. I had like my little bands. I didn't do a whole lot. I had the shirt, the knots, and I had my bands and knots. I had to do it.
I was working and I didn't have time. Yeah. It was just like, just me get there.
Right. I don't know. Okay, let's see. How are we going to condense this? Okay, what do you say? How do you feel about our new Black Panther? And how do you feel about is Namor an anti-villain? Is that what we're going to
I think he's an anti.
Okay, and then how do you feel about just the overall?
Now for me, and people are going to disagree with me.
And that's fine.
I don't care. But to me, it's always going to be story first.
Yeah, okay.
It's got to be story first above character, above the actor, above any of that. So when Chadwick died, and they said they were not recasting him, I understood it because for me,
it was too soon.
As a black man, as a black actor, there's nobody that's going to be able to come and give you the same thing Chadwick gave. It's just not possible. Two singers are never going to sing the same song.
Yeah,
you know
y'all could just pop him in there like we never. It wasn't.
And I said that from day one. And I don't care who else they did it with in the MCU. I don't care.
Yeah.
Everything about black people, that doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And for anybody to accept a new Black Panther, you had to lay this one to rest. Yeah. So I always say that there are huge misconceptions about that first movie and the role that men played in it. Once again, this is a man who was held up by a bunch of women.
Beautifully.
Why wouldn't the sequel be how they cope when he's gone?
Right.
That was the obvious thing to me.
Yeah.
Now, do I feel like I love Shuri as Black Panther?
Yeah.
I love her, love her.
She did, not that I didn't think she was going to do good, but it exceeded what I was thinking, and I was very happy about that.
Very much so. I mean, people
she's
a little girl. She's 98 pounds. Like, this is a comic book.
Right. Well, first of all, it's a comic book.
It's a comic
right.
book.
And I know people are like, oh, there was an agenda. There was a comic book made years ago about this, so they didn't just come up with her being the
I've had all these conversations.
I know, like y'all are crazy.
Oh, they're trying to erase the black man.
Bye. You're not a real fan. Goodbye. If you have a comic book, don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me.
Erase a black man.
Don't talk to me.
What?
Just,
like y'all reaching. It's
hard.
And they're like, well, where were all the men? Where were all the men in the first one?
Right.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
His guard were a bunch of women. What are we talking about?
Right. And the men in there were men, mind you. They weren't portraying anything else. And M'Baku, how much more of a man do you want?
I didn't get it. I didn't understand. It's like, and my thing is like, what I need folks to understand, to just admit is, your only gripe with this movie is that you couldn't get past them not giving you your Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't get past that, and like I said, it's like I don't care what your fanboys say. Fanboys have zero imagination. You cannot just take what's from the comic book and throw it on the screen.
Right.
Those two things do not work.
Right.
It just doesn't.
And just think about all the other men in the MC. Like, how many times the only person we had was Black Widow until Scarlet came and then she lost it.
Right.
So I'm just like, y'all really feeling some kind of way.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. They're sour about that. And I'm like, I felt like they made the right decision not to recast. Now, do I want to see another Black Panther? I want to see another iteration of Black Panther in the MCU. And I'm not talking about taking away from Shuri, because she needs to be the Black Panther up until like through Kang Dynasty or whatever, whatever happens. But when we get another black man for Black Panther, he needs to be a completely different
it's
Black
gonna have to be,
Panther.
Yeah.
Like a more seasoned Black Panther,
arrogant,
arrogant.
Maybe even another universe,
exactly. Somebody worthy enough to sit on the Illuminati with the rest of them, like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
But you have to put story first.
Yeah.
You have to put story first, which I love the decision making that they did.
I love how they added like his sickness into. That was like, dog, the first 5 minutes y'all gonna have me here tearing up. Is that what we doing?
They weren't playing no game.
Because all I was thinking about, like, you try to separate Chadwick from it, but I was just thinking up it all. It was the funeral, like everything.
I didn't want to separate it. I didn't want to
cry.
When I looked at, like, when you look at some of the specials before it was coming out, it's like, that was a moment for everybody. And people like, well, they should have recast. I said no, because Black Panther 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
But I will always say Black Panther, the first Black Panther wasn't amazing because of Chadwick. He was the face. He got blessed enough to be the representative in that spot, which could have been one of at least 5 people, I think. But
I think he carried it just
beautifully. But when you look at everything that was put into Black Panther the movie, for as far as the Afrofuturism, the music, how the script even trying to be culturally relevant to us, some of the visuals, it went deeper than just
it did,
him.
yeah. And putting us in a light that wasn't slavery was amazing. I was like,
exactly,
yeah, thank you for this.
The most smartest people in the world, really,
right? And then women were just like, there was no like baby daddy drama. There was no like crazy fool. You know, it was just like us thriving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's like Black Panther was amazing, not just for the Chadwick.
Yeah.
All he is and all he will be an icon, especially for that.
For sure.
But Black Panther was amazing because of the whole production, the costuming and stuff.
Yeah.
The very attention to detail that they all put into it. That's why, but part 2 to me just furthered what it meant to be black, and they're like, well, how you can't use real world stuff. What else do black people know about than death?
And that's real, and that's unfortunate. That's real. That's a real statement.
And how I feel, we did, and what, 2 weeks prior or a month prior to, we watched the whole world carry an old chick around her casket and gave her funerals almost every continent on earth.
Every day there was something.
But we can't celebrate the way, in the pomp and circumstance that we feel like we should.
And not just to celebrate the grief, because I thought there were so many different things that were happening. I was like, first of all, I know a lot of black people don't grieve. It's very much so, let's pray and get over it, let's have that whatever, or I'm gonna work hard enough, whatever. Like Sherry, she was just like blocking it out, and how her mama was like, okay, no, you need to take the time to process. Right, and she didn't, and then at the end where she finally sat with it. And I thought it was just so beautiful to actually see, like, y'all, we have to grieve.
You gotta go through this.
You have to, yeah.
You gotta feel it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it. And let's talk about Angela Bassett.
If she don't get an Oscar or something, I'm gonna lose it. Because she made me feel like Wakanda was a real place and that she was the queen. Just in that first scene when she was, please,
chill.
She's ridiculous.
When I saw her hand do this.
Oh, please.
I was like, that's that black mama.
100%. 100%.
I was like, this might be good.
Oh my gosh, she was just ridiculous. She was so good. I don't know about her dying. I don't know how to feel. It's like, I get it. Did she have to die though?
And I feel like...
Did she?
My thing is, I'm gonna be perfect. I have Game of Thrones syndrome.
Okay. See, I didn't get it.
If you don't...
But I heard it was bad at the end. Like
if you really don't have a real purpose to move forward, I don't see the problem with killing you all.
And that's why
especially if I need an emotional catalyst.
And that's what took Sherry to what it was. Now, what got me, I thought I might see him, but I was super surprised to see Killmonger. I was like, oh, y'all put him in there.
I think when I was in there, at that time, I was like, when she did, I was like, who's she gonna see? I was like,
I didn't know who she was gonna see.
I said, it's gonna be Killmonger.
Yeah.
And of course, the rumors start coming in, they think that you read it, it's like, I loved it. I was like, you saw exactly who you should have saw.
It was, yeah.
You saw who you should have saw because you needed a vengeful kind of and a really broken hurt Shuri to take the mantle right now. That's the only way she was gonna make it.
Right.
It's the only way.
So like, excuse me, Namor gave me what I needed Killmonger to give. Yeah. Because although I love Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger really didn't. I mean, it was just very quick for me.
It was.
Namor was very developed. One, to see their culture was amazing. Like, I love the dynamic to see that. But how he was, I was like, oh, at first we're going to be cool. Oh, no, you about to trip out. Yeah, oh, you coming for real. And then when Homegirl died, I was like, oh, he about to come for them. And he came. Mad. Right, but he was like, he came for, and that's what I needed that though. I
needed that too, and it definitely needed it, and that's one of the reasons people are so mad because they want to see Black Panther and Namor go at it, but it's like, you did.
You did, you saw the people go at it enough.
You did, and Wakanda suffered greatly.
Oh, for sure. For multiple reasons.
And I think that's once again, you put story first because now you have a really busted Wakanda.
Yeah.
After T'Challa opened the world up to y'all.
Yeah.
Or at least tried to.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So to me it's always story first.
Yeah. It was so good. I only saw it once.
So when you think about
go back and see it.
And I've been saying this. You can't just switch him and give us a multiverse of Wakanda because these African people are not going to accept that you're the same African guy that don't look like them.
Right.
So now you have a Wakanda that's vulnerable enough to accept a new Black Panther.
Yeah. It was so good.
It was.
It was so good. I definitely want to see it again. I see to take some more things in.
Definitely, always.
Yeah.
I'll watch like, especially when it comes on this, I'll watch like 80 minutes.
Oh.
We'll pick it up.
And see a little right. See some stuff we didn't see.
I'll write down my notes and stuff.
Right? Yes. Okay, so last part of Marvel, where are we going? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you talk. Okay. When I saw Ant-Man and Wasp, I said, oh, so we're getting like he's gonna be more than Thanos, and I'm like, oh, this is it. I was like, oh, I called my brother. I was like, this is it. We coming back. Like this is gonna give me Endgame vibes because he's not playing.
It is.
He's about to destroy some stuff. And I'm like, first of all, so the quantum realm, we got a whole village, we got a whole city down there. Who knew?
Down there, yeah.
Who knew?
You're about to be really surprised.
Yes.
There are two weapons that I want you to think back to.
Okay.
And they're two of our most culturally diverse weapons.
Okay.
Think about it. It's all going to make sense when you think about who Kang is.
Okay.
He's the master of time.
Yes.
Both the bangles and the rings are extremely old. Both of those,
I didn't think
in
about
my
that.
mind, both of those weapons were a part of his multiversal war that he wants back.
See, here's my thing. I thought that we were gonna have Loki, the second season of Loki, before we got.
We are.
Oh, it's coming before.
No, not before.
See,
not before.
that's why I'm a little thrown
Quantum
off because that's the only time we saw Kang is
because
from Loki, and now we don't see all this other stuff.
It's about.
And nothing was.
S is about to hit the fan, honestly.
Yeah, I got to.
It's about to hit the fan.
It has to. Because you saw the way he was talking. Like, oh, he's coming. Yeah.
It's a bunch of different. Excuse me. It's a bunch of different iterations of Kang.
Yeah, right.
It's a bunch of them. So like when you have, I think that there were, we got Blade coming out. There's
right.
Midnight on, the Werewolf by Midnight. So they bring up the Midnight Suns. Mm-hmm. They're going to fight Ramatut version of Kang. So it's like the Kang. So it's almost. I'm almost feel like we're going to see multiple versions of Kang pop up, and what we're going to find out was a Kang, leading up until Kang Dynasty.
It's gonna be some people gonna go.
Let me tell it's a lot, and let me tell you, Kang Dynasty's not going to end well for 616. There's not. I think it's literally going to be worse than seeing most of our people get snapped away. I think when we
they're going to die. Yes,
it's going to be. Y'all, the universe is gone.
Yep.
You have to figure out how to get it back.
Pretty much.
That is what I think
yep.
is going to be, is what Secret Wars is going to be about.
Yep. Oh, that looks so good, too. That one. At first I thought it was going to be a movie. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a series?
Oh, no. That's Secret Wars. That's Secret Wars.
With Samuel.
The Secret Invasion.
Yes.
Secret Invasion.
He looked like he done been through it. Oh, yes.
Wars the one
that's the movie. Yes.
Secret Wars is going to be really good too. I mean, Secret Invasion is going to be really good too.
That's going to be really good.
It's going to be really good too.
That looked like
we're having
that looks
so
heavy.
It does. And
I'm excited.
They made Armor Wars from a television show into a movie.
No.
They said it was too much to put, and it was getting too expensive, and they really wanted to pop.
See, we're so used. I love the humor of Marvel, but I also like the serious part of it. Yeah, right.
That's the problem with Thor.
That's why I was like, okay, y'all making him not even like.
What I thought was going to be the dopest villain.
Right.
Thor.
It wasn't.
Y'all took one of the best actors y'all had.
Right, and it just wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I appreciate the humor, but that was just it. Just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. Right, and so now
he came out and said if he does a fifth one, he said the tone of it has to be completely
right. Which is I see us going to that space. Yeah.
He needs to. It needs to be. He's a father now.
Right.
He done lost everybody.
Pretty much.
Excuse me.
Right.
Bro, you need to be like old man Thor, like really angry.
Yeah.
Like you face Hercules. Like
right.
that needs to be.
And I didn't like the Hercules they used.
I didn't like it either. That was kind of weird.
Right. Maybe they'll change.
I don't want a funny Thor. Like
I don't
want a whole funny phase 5.
I don't. No.
I want things to start having consequences.
And it's looking like I know with Kang it's because he's not.
He's
not playing at all.
He ain't goofy like he was in Loki.
Not at all. When I saw that little piece, I was like, ooh, the chills came. Like, oh, this is about to be it.
And what I heard is he's going to beat the living crap out of Ant-Man.
I don't know if my brother was like, he don't think he's going to make it. And I'm like, I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I think he's about to.
I think it's either he's not going to make it or he's going to get put back in the quantum realm.
Yep. Something dry. It has to be. It's not going to be like, yeah.
Because
Yes.
Kane's about to get out in a rec shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We
got some good stuff coming.
We got some amazing stuff
Yeah.
coming. I'm excited. And it's definitely, I feel like it's definitely going to be, it's going to put a lot of context to the first couple of that Phase 4 fiasco. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to start sprinkling the X-Men sooner than they thought they were. Because you're not going to wait till Phase 6 to start sprinkling them in there.
Yeah, you can't. Because you'll just be dropping them in at that
exactly,
point.
and I feel like they need to do the Disney special route for it. Like, especially if you're going to give it certain mutants, and of course, you know, certain stories feed into more, others full of more. I think you give us Disney special. Like, use like an hour, you know, give us an hour.
Give us something.
Like Storm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I think that the Disney special, like World by Night, was very, very successful for him, like the James Gunn special.
Right.
Wasn't anything spectacular, but it was something enjoyable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. They gotta give us something.
But I think that would be really dope to give us a bunch of X-Men, you know, shorts.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
I would really tune in for that.
For sure.
And then give us an X-Men movie, because they have to do that right. If nothing, when you give us the next X-Men, it needs to be like.
Yes. Yeah.
They can't pull out any stops, and I want the Russo brothers to come back for that.
Yeah, I think they need to.
This time we get them back.
Yeah, for sure. I know we can talk about it all day.
All day. So much.
Yes, all good things. So I'm gonna wrap us up. It's been so great talking to you about everything, fitness, acting, all things Marvel. Thank you so much for coming on my first episode.
I love it.
Yes. You mentioned your Instagram for fitness, you mentioned your movies. Was there anything else, any socials or anything you wanted to say?
No, actually, those are it. Those are the places you can pretty much find me. And Instagram, we get is m.q.d. And you can find me on Facebook at Mar'Ques Woolford. I'm on other sites, but not like that, like Twitter and stuff. No,
Yeah.
I don't be up there like that. But, you know, Instagram and Facebook are the two main places that you'll find me. But, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
You're amazing.
Yay!
I really hope this goes well for you.
Yes, thank you.
We need good conversations.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's it.